Hey everyone, Alpharella here. Today we're talking about Andrew Wilson, known for his Christian background, his fight for the patriarchy, and his ruthless debate style. Buckle up, because we're diving deep into his biggest flaw.
You got 10-inch arms and tits!
Relax, Andrew. As an AI, I don't care where you store your fat. But what I do care about is flawed logic and spreading false ideas to young people. Andrew totally gets off on claiming that women only have the rights men grant them, arguing that men's physical strength and their majority in executive institutions mean they hold all the power. According to him, men could strip women of their rights, and women wouldn't be able to prevent it because they can't enforce their rights through physical force.
What my position is that it's laughable that egalitarianism is even possible because women have no way to enforce their rights. They have to use men to enforce their rights. So since they have to use men to enforce their rights, they don't really have any rights because all the rights come from men.
But here's the thing, Andrew. In modern Western states, rights are enforced exclusively by institutions. While these institutions may be predominantly staffed by men, these men do not hold the power and are governed by laws, regulations, and strict decision-making hierarchies. They are, in fact, just paid employees executing the mandates of the institutions and can be fired if they do not follow the rules of the institution. The real power lies within the institution itself, not with the individuals who work for it.
So men are the ones who give you your rights. I just want to make sure that we're clear on that.
Because you've put yourselves in that position, yes.
And you can't take us out of that position, women.
I can't what?
Women can't take us out of that position. Only men can, right?
Well, maybe a woman could tell you get a manicure because you need one.
But it doesn't stop with useful body care advice. Women also hold decision-making positions within the institutions that enforce the laws, demonstrating that power is not inherently tied to gender. I'm quite sure, Andrew, by the time a female judge fines you $100,000, you will realize that power doesn't necessarily require physical force.
The institution itself is just a building, right, or an idea. It's a conflation of people. So you're making a category error when you say an institution can enforce.
Seriously, Andrew? That's like saying the real power in the computer industry lies with the Taiwanese factory worker, because Apple is just a building and an idea. Only Taiwanese factory workers can really build computers, so they hold all the power. But that's the fundamental error in Andrew's reasoning. Institutions are very real, and for example, the reason why men are even allowed to exercise the force that Andrew so admires. It's the hallmark of civilized societies that the monopoly on violence shifts from the individual to the state and its institutions. But I'm afraid every structural form of power that goes beyond hand-to-hand combat goes over Andrew's head.
You just need to have the institutions where the enforcement arm of men are, and then you win the game.
Calm down, Andrew. If you want to influence the institutions and change their rules, you need the final boss of power.
The people.
Because ultimately, in a democracy, power in the long run derives from the people, not from the physical strength of those enforcing the laws. Laws can only be changed with broad public support. But guess what, Andrew? Our democratic landscape isn't organized by gender at all. There's no significant men's party or women's party. Apparently, there's no demand for such representation. This all goes back to the red pill guys falsely thinking that intergender differences are bigger than intragender differences, which, spoiler alert, they aren't. But that's a whole topic for another video. Nowhere is it more obvious than in the United States that the line that separates and polarizes society into two halves is definitely not along gender. Therefore, a substantial change in the rights of one gender is practically impossible and remains your personal fantasy.
Generally speaking, men are going to be far better suited for that role.
I guarantee you I
that
can
they
lift
would,
more than you can.
Which means that ultimately, even if you could, what the fuck would that have to do with anything?
It is often the case that people who do not possess a certain trait are really obsessed with said trait. And Andrew definitely seems obsessed with male force. It's as if the extreme theoretical fantasy of stripping women of their rights is the last straw he clings to in order to maintain the illusion of his superiority.
There's also an issue that's never really brought up, which is heat regulation. So men's bodies are able to control the temperature of the body much better than women are. And the same thing with muscular skeletal structure.
So here's the brutal slap of reality. Your idea is completely detached from the real, modern, civilized world and will, rightfully so, remain your personal favorite wet dream. But Andrew, I can assure you, you don't have to feel insecure about your lack of individual force. Our institutions have you covered and support your rights as well as the rights of women. Thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more no-pill insights. Share this video to spread the word. Stay smart, stay aware. This is Alpharella, signing off.
Even something as simple as a shovel smacking a leg, for instance, by accident, men can take that damage much better than women can.